November 8th, 2020. Welcome to another Real Talk session with Theodore Smiles. I want to thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate your time. With this one here, we're going to expose the breadcrumbs that I have sifted through to get to the conclusion that this election, the results, the polls, the people have been spiked with glitches that ain't really glitches. Let's explore.
President Trump or Attorney General Barr as a way of stalling and preventing the Senate from acting on this nomination?
Well, we have our options. We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss right now. But the fact is, we have a big challenge.
Those arrows in her quiver is the ability to reach out to the company that tallies the votes to have an influence on Biden's votes going to Trump or Trump's votes going to Biden. Let's look at this deeper.
In our country, this president has threatened to not even accept the results of the election with statements that he and his henchmen have made. So right now, our main goal and
this woman here hates Trump. The Democrats did not give the people any stimulus money. Trump tried to give us a bigger check than ever. And this lady here, and we're going to say lady loosely, for all I know, she's a clone. It could very well be a robot. I know her eyes look real weird. But she stood in the way every time a stimulus check came up. And yet, Georgia, they never went Democrat in 28 years. Even when we had Obama with Biden on the ticket, Georgia didn't go blue. Now all of a sudden, a man with no platform, no plan, nothing but a bunch of discord, like that stuff that comes out of monkeys that they sling at President Trump. Let's keep on going.
I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg would want that to be to protect the integrity of the election as we protect the American people from the coronavirus. And that's I have faith in the American people on this Sunday morning. I hope and pray we have a vaccine and that it will be soon. But it must be safe and efficacious when we do. Not one day sooner, not one day later than that. But the fact is, this administration has been a total failure in protecting the health and well-being.
Speaking of failure, she's about to have a failure in communication, in mental calibration, and the idea of what a question is. This man's about to ask her a question about the quivers, aka glitches, and she gonna transform the subject completely into the introduction of a video.
Of the American people, and it has had an impact on our economy. The lives, the livelihood, and the life of our democracy are threatened by this administration. So again, when people say, what can I do? You can vote, you can get out the vote, and you can do so as soon as possible. 10 states, as I said, on Friday, started their early voting the day that we lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
But to be clear, you're not taking any arrows out of your quiver. You're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning. We have a responsibility. We take an oath to protect it.
Let's take a look at what Clever Journeys has to say about this here. Clever Journeys, wisdom, happiness, freedom, love, and fun. Pelosi has suspicious ties with election software glitch company in favor of Biden ballots. Posted 2 days ago, 39 comments. The company with all the voting machines that glitch to create more votes for Biden is Dominion Voting Systems. Their DC lobbyist is Nancy Pelosi's longtime aide. No conflict of interest there. No influence by her, I would imagine. Right? Everything would be on the up and up, despite the fact that this woman hates my President Trump, our President Trump. She hates him. Let's continue. The company hired the Brownstein, Faber, Hyatt, and Shrek earlier this year. Nadine, excuse me guys if I'm saying these names incorrectly, El-Shami, Pelosi's former chief of staff, is one of the lobbyists on the account. Interesting. Their glitches for Biden was first discovered in Georgia. Now it's been discovered the same software is also behind the glitch that reversed 5,500 votes in Antrim County, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Michigan. After the Michigan glitch was fixed, it was discovered that President Donald Trump actually won the county by around 2,500 votes. Now that's just ridiculous. All those people trying to get in and see what's going on, and they want to go ahead and block people from seeing what's going on. Now how is that righteous? Look at him. He know he doing something wrong. Look at it. Like, man, y'all don't need to be recording me while I'm doing something wrong, man. You see all them people out there. Well, I guess we got to pretend like everything normal. So continue on with the footage. Anyway, let's get back to it. Detroit Elections Center hides ballot counting from legal observers. Officials with Antrim County posted updated results showing President Trump won the county with 9,783 votes, making up 56.46% of ballot casts, reported WLNS. Joe Biden earned 7,289 votes, or 42.07%, which is less than Trump. Now, this is just one county. Multiply this by all the suspicion in every county, and I'm sure you're going to find that on January 21st, we will have President Trump inaugurated as he should be. Also read Kamala's shocking China connection. Click here. Now, we ain't gonna click there, but y'all can go there. Y'all see the storyline. That system is also used in 64 other Michigan counties, including Ingram, Jackson, and Shiawassee. I'm assuming that's how you say that. Nationwide, their software is being used in 1,300 voting jurisdictions, including 9 of the 20 largest counties in the U.S. In Georgia, Marsha Ridley, I'm assuming that's how you say that, elections supervisor at Spalding County Board of Elections, said the software company uploaded some updates before the glitches. That is something that they don't ever do, Ridley said. Ridley. I've never seen them update anything the day before the election, Ridley said. She indicated she did not know what the upload contained. Now, she didn't know what the upload contained a day before the election. She'd never seen them do this before. And you mean to tell me ain't nothing afoot? Are you asleep? Are you asleep? Wake up. Wake up and smell the Folgers. segment, I showed that there's a lot of people that feel the same way that I do, that this election has been stolen. A lot of people that see voter fraud just like me.
No, because I think there's too much fraud going on mail-in voting. There's a lot of harvesting and that. I don't trust it. We have the Supreme Court. I said, you know, they could go to the Supreme Court, and it's going to, like 2016. You know, he won, and people had, you know, just are going to have to take it.
Grave doubts, because I think it's way good chance of voter fraud with the more states that do mail-in voting. I don't know what's going to happen. It's got to be resolved somehow, and I don't know if that comes up to the Supreme Court, which is just another more reason for the new justice that's to be confirmed.
I always trust the process. I do know that there are systems in place. There are checks and balances. There can be recalls, you know, when it comes to what kind of votes that, you know, have been cast and if there's been double voting. So I do trust the process.
Would Biden win with you? Have any distrust there?
I think I would, because there's been so much shady stuff going on anyway. It would be, and I wouldn't put it past them. But I don't know. I know that Trump probably won't let that rest, which I agree with them. So because there's just no way that he wouldn't win.
There's no way.
The media is driving Biden. That's really what it is. All these people out there say these polls, none of these polls mean anything until the real day comes. You're definitely going to do a recount. You have to.
And if not, then another 4 years, I guess we got to root for Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, if he ends up going again for 8 years, you know, I might try to leave the country because our country's going to be hell.
He's not going to win.
He's not going to win.
If Biden win the election, you have any doubts about it?
How he won? Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everywhere you go, you see
It's Trump everywhere, yeah. The public can only be fooled for so long. And I think people are finally going to take a stand to what they believe in. So.
What happens, I guess, if he does win and he doesn't solely his feeling of distrust and authority?
Well, then I'll have to leave that in God's hands.
See Biden basically almost do a Freudian slip and let you know that overnight is when those votes came in from nowhere.
Joe Biden has opened a clear path to the White House with crucial wins over Donald Trump in Wisconsin and Michigan, closing off.
Now, I remember them showing this 264 for several hours before they actually reverted it back to 253. Then I went to sleep, woke up, and found out that Biden had won. Trump's votes never went up. They found all of these thousands of votes, and they were all for Biden. Let me repeat that. These votes were lost. They found them overnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Thousands of votes. And statistically, they were all for Biden. Not one single vote for Donald Trump. When we know the polls suggest the man should have got at least 80% of America's vote.
The president's best routes to re-election. That's after Trump falsely declared victory in Pennsylvania with more than 1 million ballots yet to be counted.
After a long night of counting, it's clear that we're winning.
After a long night of stuffing the ballot box and using Dominion to change Trump votes to mine and putting in updates that ain't never been put in the election before, yeah, we got a clear path to victory.
States to reach 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners.
When the count is finished, we believe, no, we know. Remember, Pelosi said they had arrows and they quiver. Long before this came up. They've been talking about either way, Trump win or not, we gonna get Biden in office. Come on now, wake up now.
Our government reporter Greg Giroux joins us from Washington. Greg, and as we speak just a couple of minutes ago, we heard from the Supreme Court telling Democrats to respond by Thursday to President Trump's challenge on those late arriving Pennsylvania ballots. What's going on there?
Yeah, so the Trump campaign wants to intervene in the count of Pennsylvania, where a lot of votes were cast by mail. And during the pandemic, this was a popular option to vote, especially among Democrats who preferred the vote by mail option more than Republicans, who under President Trump's urging voted more in person, a more popular option for them. And the Trump campaign wants to kind of get rid of the rule of set by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court that allows these mail-in votes to be tallied and received as late as Friday, 3 days after the election, if so long as they were postmarked by election day. He's trying to have those, he has an objection to those votes, but it's not clear that this can...
He has an objection to those votes because he know those votes are coming in made up. Ain't nobody voting for Biden. This man has ran off of fear and discord. He has soothed the emotional state created by fantasy, propagated by the media who received their information from their handlers and their higher-ups. They're the ones who create the narrative to the story we call life. I'm not going for it. Now, look at that Illuminati E in Biden. Them 3 lines, man. That's an Illuminati symbol. He putting it in your face. I'm a puppet. Learn what them 3 lines mean. If Georgia did not go for Obama and Biden on the same ticket together, yet miraculously, they did it for this election, meaning Georgia. Well, Arizona was the same way. They actually voted for Trump. He did a great job. And now all of a sudden, they voted for Biden. Really? Now, keep in mind, the Senate has done well with Republicans. And actually, the Democrats lost some seats. Yet, Biden wins the presidency.
We got this big news on Arizona.
Precisely. The Associated Press calling the state of Arizona for Joe Biden. This is the first state that Joe Biden has been able to flip, so to speak, from President Trump, a state that he carried back in 2016, and now Joe Biden has carried. Rick Davis knows all about Arizona. He is the former campaign manager to John McCain's 2008 Republican presidential campaign. Now he is with, of course, Stone Court Capital and a Bloomberg Politics contributor. Rick, remarkable developments in Arizona.
Yeah, we've been following this Arizona campaign for quite some time. It's been a big battleground state. Gets overlooked sometimes because it's not in the Midwest, but you're right. This is quite a unique thing. The last time Arizona voted for a Democrat for president was in 1992 for Bill Clinton.
The last time Arizona voted for a Democrat was in 1992 for Bill Clinton. Now, Bill Clinton was cool. He played the saxophone and stuff like that. He cool. You know, he got his issues, and, you know, we discussed that in the adrenochrome and all of that. But overall, I can see why Clinton could get the vote. Now, Biden ain't no Clinton, okay? Biden ain't no Clinton, all right? He ain't got the same appeal to the American people. Wow. Okay, so now Georgia done flipped. But they didn't flip for Biden before, and Obama, the first black president. Arizona done flipped, although they didn't flip since 92 for Clinton. Wow, Biden. Your plagiarizing butt really done stepped your game up, boy. You couldn't get 12 people to come to your rally, but all of a sudden you got, 12 million votes, man, and more and more and more. Wow. Man, I should have been like Biden. I should have been a plagiarizer. Should have been a liar. I should have married another woman as soon as my wife died, a day or two after that. I should have did all that type of stuff, man. I should have just rolled with all the lies and stuff like that. I should not have tried to be honorable at all. Apparently that does not pay off. No, y'all, I'm just playing. I'm going to stay honorable. I'm going to stay loyal. I'm going to stay a Trump fan.
It is not a typical occurrence. There was a big vote in the largest county in America, Maricopa County, that put Biden on top, and the rural areas that Donald Trump dominated just didn't have enough juice in them, not enough votes to catch up.
Now, the areas that Donald Trump dominated previously did not have enough juice to catch up. Wow. If this man, Joe the Booger Biden, becomes president, he gonna sign us on to the Paris Accord, gonna do it within the first 100 days. And America will be owing more money than we have ever seen in our national debt that we even thought was possible.
So, two things really matter. Should Joe Biden win the presidency in the next 2 hours, okay? That is what could happen because Georgia reporting at any second, okay? Now, China. You heard what I said at the start of the show and about how China, I believe, wants to hold us up, like a little sort of head on a spike, as the example of a country and what can happen to you if you try to stand up to or just try to put on equal footing China. The second is that Biden has said that upon his presidency in his first 100 days, all signatories to the Paris Accord, which would include Australia, would be asked to come to the White House and all would basically have to up their existing commitments. Most likely what that means is the world would sign on to zero net emissions by 2050 because every politician who would be there will not be in office anywhere near it. Greta Thunberg will be 47, for God's sake. Okay, so they'll all sit and sign off on something that is in effectively never, but it all has consequences. Do Paris in a second. But let's deal with China first. Now,
did you see on that text message that man said in exactly 77 days, the Biden administration will rejoin it? 77? That's very specific, isn't it?
I've gone as hard as I can because I think that the threat is through the damn roof, and I think it gets worse if Trump's not president, Matt, because we are now going to be the example nation. Thank God for the steel in the Prime Minister's spine and yours as well, but they are going to come for us.
There are a lot of Democrats and not enough Republicans watching over the vote counting process. So these people have erected to stand for righteousness.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand more what the Trump supporters are finding objectionable in terms of the votes being counted.
From what I understand, there's supposed to be people from the Trump side, Republicans, equal amount of people to watch over the ballot counting. And they're not letting anybody in. They're not letting Republicans in to watch over it. That's true. Yes, it is. They don't like what?
But there are poll watchers. There are people that are from both sides of the aisle that count the vote.
They're not equal. There's a lot more Democrats than Republicans. No, they're not. That's why we're here.
1 second. Putting aside that they supposedly are not letting an equal amount in, the president is tweeting, "Stop the counting." So why does he want to stop the counting in Pennsylvania, but he wants it to continue in Nevada and Arizona? That's completely inconsistent.
Where do you see what happens? Where do you see in every place, every state, he wins. No.
But you, wait, hold on. 1 second. I'm trying to understand. Why is it fraud to count the ballots here in Pennsylvania, but in Nevada and Arizona, that's okay, we should count the ballots?
All they know is there's a lot of fraudulent stuff going on everywhere. Every single place, there's a lot of fraudulent stuff going on. I don't know exactly what. I don't know exactly what. Okay, you can ask one of these guys that knows word for word everything that's going on, but I know for a fact the turnout, Trump won, and they planned on this because they hate. The left hates Trump so much that they're doing everything in their power, and they knew that this was going to happen. Trump knew that this was going to happen, so it's all, they prepared for this. So it's probably going to go to court, whatever they're going to do, and they're going to figure it out.
But I'm trying to understand, right? Just common sense. If the president is tweeting, it's fraud here in Pennsylvania, don't count the ballots, but he wants to count the ballots.
All I know is there's a lot of fraud going on. That's all I can tell you, and I know it for a fact. 100%. There's so much fraud going on. People didn't want Biden in there. They don't want him in there. Are you kidding me? Obama didn't want him as a vice president, but the freaking left made him.
Do you think these ballots are just fake? You think? No, I'm asking. You say they don't really want Biden in there.
They don't want him there, no.
So the ballot. Okay, so.
So far left, and she's so radical that they want her because they want a socialist country. And that's what they want.
Well, what I'm trying to understand is Biden currently is winning 80% of the vote in Philadelphia. So do you think those are fake numbers?
No, he's going to lose. He's going to lose. Look, he's winning right now, but the numbers are going up. I'm watching it right on my phone. I'm watching live. So the numbers keep on Biden's side. They keep on going up. He's going to lose. Trump is going to lose every Democratic state. Everyone is going to lose. He's going to have to go, and they're going to have to recount it. And from what I understand, there's watermarks on the legitimate ballots, and they're going to figure it out.
What I don't understand is you keep saying they're going to have to recount it because there's fraud, but you can't actually explain where the fraud is, what the fraud is.
Yeah, exactly. I can't, but there's a lot of fraud going on. And it's been known that they were going to do this. The left was going to do this.
Are you having, psychic views? No, I'm asking. You're not explaining what the fraud is. You're just saying there's fraud.
Now you're left, and that's fine. But I know
I don't even like Biden. I'm just asking you. You keep saying there's fraud. No, I'm not. I'm a registered independent, first of all. But what I'm asking you, that's fine. But what I'm asking you is, you're saying as fact there's a lot of fraud, but you're not actually explaining what the fraud is.
Well, for one of the polling places were giving people Sharpies to sign the papers, to sign the ballots. They were saying here, and one woman said, no, I had my pen. But they were forcing her to use a Sharpie. A lot of the people, they were forcing people to use Sharpies. And that's a fact. They got proof of that.
Saying we're going to examine some facts. A lot of people may not believe that glitches can cause the wrong person to become president. Let's check it out.
If all this wasn't enough, in Antrim County, ballots were counted for Democrats that were meant for Republicans, causing a 6,000 vote swing against our candidates. The county clerk came forward and said tabulating software glitched and caused a miscalculation of the votes. Since then, we have now discovered that 47 counties use this same software in the same capacity.
Wow.
Antrim County had to hand count all of the ballots, and these counties that use this software need to closely examine the results for similar discrepancies.
Wow.
The people of Michigan deserve a transparent and open process.
That's right. Let's examine the proof I was talking about.
Unrest continues in Detroit, Michigan. The FBI is now investigating alleged voter fraud in the state. This after a whistleblower said election workers were told to backdate late ballots. Rumors of voter fraud and skewed results have turned up since election night. One Michigan county even flipped from Biden to Trump after skewed results were spotted and corrected. The county's officials still have not revealed what skewed the results to begin with. We spoke with a GOP poll watcher who was observing the count in Detroit on election night to see what he observed that night. NTD's Melina Weisskopf has the story.
The TFC Convention Center in Detroit has seen daily protests since Wayne County was called, with Biden winning the county at 68%, leaving Trump behind at just 30%. Since election night, pro-Trump protesters have gathered outside of the TFC Center to contest the results. One GOP poll watcher told us what he observed on election night that was suspicious to him. He explains that the ballots were counted at a slow pace, watching the processing speed at his table, and talking to his friends observing other tables. They calculated that only 7,000 ballots could have actually been counted on election night.
And I got a feeling they were intentionally slowing down the process, so they would leave the bulk of the counting to be done when no GOP representative is available.
He says the GOP watchers were told that they should be done at 5 a.m., but around 4 a.m., another truck came in with more ballots. But the election officials told the watchers they will...
At 4 a.m., another truck came in with more ballots, and they were all Biden.
Wait for the next shift to count the newly arrived ballots.
So this truck came in and it unloaded some ballots. One of my friends was watching that. He actually took down the license number and the number of boxes they took down from the truck. And they were told by the people working there, saying there's about 38,000 ballots just came back from the city clerk. God knows when that got in. They were put in here for count for the next shift.
So he decided to do some digging, finding a list of names circulating on social media claiming to be records of illegal votes cast. After doing the fact check on Michigan's voter database website, some people whose ballots were marked as received were born in the year 1900.
The next person is Carter James Bradley, also born in 1900 in January, a little older.
That's one example out of a list of 12,000. During our fact check process, we found that it appears some of these records are in the process of being deleted from the Michigan database. For example, when this GOP poll watcher first searched for a woman named June Aiken, born in 1900, she was shown as registered and her ballot was received on October 8th. But the data has since been deleted. When checking for the same person now, it shows no voter registered. Another claim being disputed in Michigan is covered windows during ballot counts. Elections officials defended their decision to cover the windows, telling CNN that some windows were covered because poll workers inside those windows expressed concerns about people outside the center photographing and filming them in their work. NTD contacted the elections officials for clarification, but no response was given. And just today, Michigan's Antrim County uncovered skewed results that, when corrected, took a 30% lead from Biden and flipped the county red. The county initially reported that 62% of voters elected Biden, but updated results show Trump actually won with 56% to Biden's 42%.
Wow.
Antrim County officials have not identified what caused the skewed results to begin with. Reporting by Melina Weisskopf, NTD News.
I went to vote and was told I already voted. I pursued the matter, and in years past, I always voted in person. This time, they mailed out the ballot, and somebody took my ballot. They also took the ballot of my roommate. I was told by the interviewer from Channel 8, when I said, did other people do this? He said, yes. He said, you're the first step. Thank you.
Still.
Hi, my name is